York. They both have that tough New York. Know quite a bit about makeup, and they're both brunettes. But hey, Deb doesn't see it that way. She said, we're nothing alike. Our shows are completely different. She's crazy. I'm not. Her stuff is about fantasy and cartoons, and my show is based on reality. You mean like a temp living in a gorgeous, huge New York apartment with stunning city views? Right, Deb.
Coming up, it's wall-to-wall celebrity bios, this being the 50th anniversary in show business of the real-life Mary Poppins. Julie Andrews has a book out. She's going to say she's sick of being perky and wholesome, and that she had years of flop-bolas, and how she was box office poison, and how she came back. It's a warm, fuzzy thing. It'll be out in May, and it's written by somebody who wrote a book on Shirley Temple. Then we got the same time, same shelf, Jack Nicholson, different kind of book. This is about the actor on the edge. It says he's tight-fisted, he's tormented, he's a sex and drug binger, he had an affair with his half-sister, he actually calls himself Dr. Devil. Believe me, this is not warm and fuzzy.
You know, it's starting to dawn on Pam Anderson that her career could be going right down the drain. She has realized that the reason her reconciliation with Tommy Lee is working is because she is unemployed and home all the time to watch him. You know, Tommy is so jealous. He hated her spending all that time on the Baywatch set. He especially hated when she had love scenes with other guys. Well, now Pam is scared. If she returns to daily TV, Tommy might start misbehaving again with other women. She's itching to get back in the spotlight, but can she risk her husband's roving eye? What's a girl to do?
Well, Goldie Hawn was honored by the Museum of the Moving Image at their annual black tie fundraiser at the Waldorf Astoria, and all the stars showed up. Now, Meryl Streep said that she felt like Quasimodo in a dress when she stood next to Goldie. And Bette Midler said this is the first time the American Museum of the Moving Image had honored a woman, and why wasn't it her? Why was it Goldie? And Glenn Close said that any actress at her age doing well was a cause for celebration, so she wished Goldie the best. Now, Goldie told me, with tears in her eyes, that her greatest accomplishment of her life was her family, and all of her family showed up, especially her daughter, Kate Hudson, that looks like a young Goldie and has that young Goldie giggle.
Whoopi Goldberg just opened on Broadway, and a funny thing happened on the way to the Forum. And she told me one of the big reasons she came back to be in New York is to be near her leading man in love, Frank Langella. When asked about her boyfriend, she balked. Boyfriend, she said, he's too old to be a boyfriend. He's old enough to be a grandpa. Well, the former Dracula has long been a hero of hers, she said. One of her favorite things about this new part is running lines with him, whatever you want to call him. She even has added a line referring to him in the play. Speaking to another actor, she says, "You're just an old white man. What do I need with you? I've got one of those at home."
Getting bombed is something that happens pretty frequently among the Generation Xers who frequent the trendy Viper Room on Sunset Boulevard. Well, the Viper Room is known for two things. Number one, Johnny Depp owns it. Number two, River Phoenix died there. The club seems to be plagued by disaster. Just the other evening, there was a very popular Irish group called the Dovlins playing there, and right in the middle of their performance, to a star-studded crowd, all of a sudden, lights went out, people were shuffled around, thrown out on the street, and the place was completely closed down. Come to find out, police say there was a very serious bomb scare. Thankfully, no one was hurt.
In case you haven't heard, the Donald Trump, that is, now owns the Miss Universe pageant. Well, at a recent VIP reception, I guess he just decided he was going to protect his investment because he went over to the reigning beauty, Alyssa McAdoo, and snatched a plate of food right out of the girl's hand. Oh, and she was hungry. I guess this was his way of reacting to her much-publicized yo-yo weight problem. Well, honey, not only is my girl going to have a weight problem when all of this is over, she's going to need some counseling, too, with episodes like that. I just hope the Donald is footing that bill as well.
Coming up, I've got a scoop on the strangest request Brad Pitt made to his bodyguard.
Sharon Stone feels fat and ugly. That's in a book coming up that she doesn't want you to read.
Hey, Paula Barberi's not the only one in the family posing naked. I'll tell you what next of kin is also showing some skin.
Hi, I'm Ken Taylor with an entertainment news break. Howard Stern backs up his claim to the king of all media. His Private Parts opens #1 at the box office. No arrests have been made in the shooting death of rapper Notorious B.I.G. Authorities have no witnesses or suspects. And Harrison Ford says that working with the sexiest man alive, Brad Pitt, was actually a lot of fun. They star together in the double zone. For the latest in entertainment stories, check out E! News Daily at 6:30 Eastern, Monday through Thursday, right here on E!
Any kids around, Aunt Jane?
Oh, sorry, Billy, not your age.
A little earlier, Jane Stewart was troubled with arthritis pain, so she took a Motrin IV. The same Motrin doctors have prescribed for aches and pains for years, but in non-prescription strength. And Motrin IV works better than extra-strength Tylenol.
All right, kid. Let's see what you got.
Aunt Jane?
Motrin IV. The strength of Motrin when your body needs it most.
MyVive, Hydrovive by L'Oreal.
Hydrovive gives dry hair a different kind of moisture. Moisture without oils.
So my hair is silky and light, never heavy.
Hydrovive means moisture for dry hair.
Vive means light.
And it's Dana on the left wing. He passes to Miller, and Miller shoots. He scores! There's the first goal, Bob. Just like in Detroit, where they throw an octopus on the ice, and in Florida, where they throw rats. Up here in Canada, you guessed it, they throw Canadians.
Not going anywhere for a while? Grab a Snickers.
Hey, Chucky!
What's more complex than the female body? The female mind. And when it thinks the body might be pregnant, it chooses Clear Blue Easy. Blue, you're pregnant. Clear, you're not. So accurate, mind and body rest assured. Clear Blue Easy.
Come here.
No.
I'm Millie Fountain, and I have 2 kids, and I drive a Saturn. I decided to buy the car because it looked very sporty, and it was very inexpensive. I found that Saturn gave me the most for my money. Uh-oh, we dropped one. It's my first major purchase that I've ever purchased by myself. I didn't feel as though they were taking advantage of me at all. You can just drive and you can relax.
This portion of E! Entertainment Television is brought to you in part by Saturn, a different kind of company, a different kind of car.
Brad Pitt wrapped the movie Devil's Own last year, but the buzz right now that the movie's about to be released is how Brad was permanently traumatized by the paparazzi on that set. Apparently he hired a bodyguard and said, "Protect me at all costs." Well, the bodyguard tried everything. He positioned himself in front of the cameras. He put up umbrellas. He tried to shield Brad with newspapers. Nothing was working. At one point, Brad got so frustrated that he pointed out the catering service and he saw some milk and he said, "Throw the milk on them." Well, the bodyguard refused and the bodyguard was fired. Brad later had second thoughts and he rehired him, but we hear that he is soured on his fame for life.
You know, it's nice to see everybody, even remotely associated with the O.J. Simpson saga, and finally get on with their lives. That's why I'm happy to report that Paula Barberi's brother, Vinny Barberi, no jokes, please, has got himself a new gig. He's actually a steel worker now. Well, sort of. You see, Vinny, who lives in Panama City, Florida, works with a group of men called the U.S. Men of Steel. They're strippers at a burlesque club in Panama City at a place called the Spinnaker. Vinny's dropping his pants on Tuesday and Friday nights, but get this, he also opened up a flower shop in town. You know, he's dropping his pants, he's selling daisies. What more can a girl want?
For celebrities, 'tis the season to not be jolly. Coming up is a book called Naked Instinct, the unauthorized, believe me, biography of Sharon Stone. It will tell why she told Spielberg to get lost, why her PR man calls her a nutcase, why schoolmates diss her, why she feels fat and ugly, why she fired her bodyguard, how she overcame B, C, and D movies, paralysis, stalkers, poor treatment even after stardom, how she picked sexual seclusion after divorce, how she pursues stardom and lovers, how as a starlet with no visible support, she lived lavishly. Boy, is this unauthorized.
You know, Disney sent me this flashlight to promote Jungle to Jungle, and it so happens I have some gossip about that movie. You know, guys have beauty problems, too. Tim Allen was not thrilled with the way he looked in the Jungle to Jungle posters. You know, the nude ones where he was draped with a snake. He thought he looked too chubby, so liposuction was performed on the ads, and now he has solid muscle where the flab was. But poor Brad Pitt, he wasn't so lucky. You know, he just saw the completed version of The Devil's Own, his new movie. He was horrified by his face in close-ups. He likes to skip the dailies, so he didn't realize that his rough character was photographed in some very unflattering light, something we all hate. Anyway, he thought his minor acne scars looked like craters, and he begged the director to do something. The director said, sorry, it's too late. You'll have to live with it. Brad, nobody likes a guy who's too perfect.
I spoke with Frank Langella recently, who's starring on Broadway in Present Laughter just around the corner from his lady love, Whoopi Goldberg's show. His face absolutely lit up when he was talking about her and said he loves to run lines with her at home. He said he even makes her sing all the songs just for fun. Can't you just picture the two of them in a little living room duet? Well, when he was talking about his role, he said he's very different from the character he plays in Present Laughter, a charming cad who can't be alone and can't let go of youth. He told me most actors are like that. I was like that once, but if I were still like that, I'd be in serious therapy.
You know, they already have one of the world's greatest golf courses, Pebble Beach, up near Carmel, California. But Clint Eastwood is said to be building his own 18-hole golf course there, right near the city where he used to be the mayor. And David Bowie has turned 50 years old. He has made an extraordinary statement. He says, the search for certainty in life leads to insanity. And here's his final remark. He says he's content to just be a shoveler of knowledge. What is that David Bowie is shoveling?
Martha Stewart Just Desserts is a book coming out in July that will portray the Empress of Domesticity as a queen of mean. The book contends that in her rise from poor Polish-American girl from Nutley, New Jersey, to poinsettia arranging arbiter of taste, Martha stepped on legions of downtrodden people. Oh, how messy. I think pretty soon they're going to have to change the name of Martha Stewart Living magazine to Martha Stewart Seething.
Songbird Barbra Streisand was overheard telling super producer David Foster that she feels that Celine Dion sings better than she does. Now, Babs is not one to hand out compliments of this magnitude so freely. However, she went on to say that she feels Celine will be the Barbra Streisand of the 90s. I'm sure Celine's feeling that, oh, Babs, it's just because you love me.
If you really want to know what's going on behind the scenes of your favorite TV show, well, just ask the extras. Now, the extras are those people that you see in the background that never really seem to be saying or doing anything, but believe me, these are the people that can make all the difference in telling you whether a show is a heaven to work on or a living hell. Now, one of the most hellacious these days, I'm told, is the set of Friends, which is anything but friendly, with the big egos of the show stars colliding all over the set. Now, on the other hand, a couple of the best shows to work on are the LA-based soap operas, like The Bold and the Beautiful and The Young and the Restless. Now, that probably comes from the fact that a lot of today's soap actors actually got their start as extras, and they understand that when the wheel turns, that's just what they might end up going back to. Maybe the cast of Friends could take that friendly advice to the bank.
Coming up, Vanessa Redgrave's life is in serious danger. I'll tell you why.
I'll tell you where you can spot the real-life Donnie Brasco in the film Donnie Brasco.
OJ's on the move again. This time, it's Florida. I've got the story.
Tomorrow on the E! Nightly Special, get ready for the best hour of entertainment on television. He's half man, half god. She's a warrior princess who can kick some serious butt. Together, Hercules and Xena are the sexiest heroes on television. Now, get an inside look at the making of these mythical shows. It's behind the scenes with Hercules and Xena. So give us an hour, and we'll give you much more than entertainment. E's Nightly Special, tomorrow at 8 Eastern, only on E!
Why do Hershey's Kisses have little flags on top? It makes them more charming. Little Hershey's Kisses, big chocolate taste.
Come on, Abby, you can do it. She'll never learn.
Sure she will. But Mom says we can't go to Disney World until you can walk. Not to pressure you, but I loved it when I was a kid, and now I want to take you guys.
Just try, okay?
Come celebrate Disney World's 25th anniversary. Call 1407-WDisney.
I'm really glad we decided not to wait till she learned how to walk. It's time to remember the magic.
Even though he thinks a diet soft drink never tastes as good as a regular, he's decided to try a Diet Dr. Pepper. Well, it just goes to show things aren't always what they seem. Diet Dr. Pepper tastes more like regular Dr. Pepper.
This Sunday, a child star's rise and his family's fall. It's the premiere of Macaulay Culkin, the E! True Hollywood Story. This Sunday, only on E!
Introducing the first ever daily protein remover for soft contact lenses. Optifree Super Cleanse. It keeps your lenses like new longer. Call and try it. Free.
Hello? A free sample? Free is good if the product is great. So what would be great is some cold, hard facts, right?
Fact. People who use Super Cleanse every day for 6 months said their soft contact lenses felt as comfortable as a pair less than a week old.
Contacts I start wearing in winter can feel as comfortable as new. Come summer, it's got to be hard work, right?
Super Cleanse is easy. Just 1 drop in your lens case overnight with Optifree Express multi-purpose solution. It's unbelievably simple.
Just 1 drop while I sleep. I'm dreaming. Now this free sample, please tell me it's not a one-time shot. Please tell me it cries out, try me again and again for a whole month.
Okay. We'll give you a 30-day supply free.
Sold.
Call now for your 1-month supply of Optifree Super Cleanse or buy some wherever lens care products are sold. Try it, feel it, believe it.
Vanessa Redgrave has never been a stranger to controversy, but this time her left-wing politics have landed her in serious trouble, and frankly, she's very scared. She's been marked for death by a group of British neo-Nazi skinheads who call themselves Combat 18. They formed in 1992, and the 18 comes from the first and the 8th letters of the alphabet, which are A and H, standing for Adolf Hitler. Now, the police have confirmed that Vanessa is at the top of dozens of celebrities in Britain who are on this hit list, and Scotland Yard has installed a safety alarm and a panic button in her flat in London that links her directly to the police in case of a terrible emergency in the middle of the night. Her phones have been tapped, and so far 3 deadly letter bombs have been confiscated by the police, hidden in rather innocent-looking video cassettes. If any one of those had been opened by Vanessa or her household staff, they would be history today. The reason this time for all the trouble is that the London papers have accused Vanessa of having an affair with David Harwood, her black co-star in the new production of Anthony and Cleopatra she's starring in and directing for the New York stage. It's all rather tawdry, and Vanessa denies it. She says, I've left London, I'm living in seclusion at a secret address in New York City, but David Harwood is just a business associate. Here is a quote from Vanessa. Many people of all colors stay with me in London. Some of them are men. That is hardly a good enough reason to accuse me of an interracial affair. But this group has posted slogans in my absence, all over my front steps, calling me red scum to the dismay and horror and disruption of the lives of all of my neighbors, and I feel terrible about it. But they're very dangerous people. I'm afraid to go home. I'm even thinking about taking out U.S. citizenship. But my life is going to continue. I refuse to live in mortal fear every day of my life. Well, as we all know, the cost of fame is high, but in this case, the cost of nonconformity could be fatal.
If you haven't already seen Donnie Brasco, see it, all right? Because I'm telling you right now, Johnny Depp, Al Pacino, and Michael Madsen are brilliant in the film. You might have also heard there's a contract, a $500,000 contract hanging over the head of Joe Pistone. This is the guy who is the real-life Donnie Brasco, the FBI agent who crippled the Mafia 20 years ago. Imagine that, the mob holding a grudge for 20 years. Never heard of that. The point is, though, I'm not sure if this contract is really for real. I think it's more to hype the film. Joe Pistone and other members of the Mafia were on that film set every day acting as technical advisors. In addition to that, Pistone also has a part in the film. I bet you didn't know that. So at the end of the film, Pistone delivers a line to Michael Madsen in which he says, Mr. Trafficante wants to leave now. He's got his hat on, he's got his sunglasses on, his makeup on, but I know it's him, and now you know it's him. And if the mob was there, they would have known it was him, and they would have killed him. So they don't want to kill him.
We got show business books coming out of our eyeballs. Upcoming is Rosie O'Donnell, her true story, how she survived drink, her mom's death, and pests like us who want to know everything. Then there's Gloria Steinem, her passions and her politics, and a little stuff on numbers like her beaux, Mike Nichols and Mort Zuckerman. Then there's the autobiography of Alvin Ailey about racism, homosexuality, painful identity search, painful fatherless childhood, painful breakdown with Lena Horne doing an intro. Plus Birch Lane's 101 Reasons to Hate George Steinbrenner. It's a spoof by some guy who, trust me, never expects to work for the New York Yankees.
Good riddance, and don't let the door hit you on the way out. That's the way many Brentwood residents feel about hearing the news that O.J. Simpson may be leaving the neighborhood to move to Florida. The story goes like this. An elderly African-American couple went to a home that was up for sale for $2.2 million in Florida. They made an offer and said that they were representatives of an offshore trust company. Well, the owners took the offer, and come to find out, the proud owner now of the $2.2 million home is O.J. Simpson.
First it was Fay Wray, then it was Jessica Lange, and now it seems that yet another young actress is going to find herself in the clutches of that big ape King Kong when Universal Pictures rolls out yet another remake of the monster classic for the big screen. And the actress reportedly dying to get the part of Kong's leading lady is Kate Winslet, who you'll also see starring opposite Leonardo DiCaprio later on this fall in the upcoming Titanic remake. Now, apparently, Kate's been a King Kong fan since she was a little girl, which must have been last week, and considers this her dream role. Now, personally, I think she'd be great for the part, but from what I hear, the folks at Universal are waiting to see whether Kate sinks or swims in Titanic.
Ooh, the other night, TV renegade Martin Lawrence was at a party, and honey, somebody introduced him as Lawrence Martin. Oh, needless to say, my man was a little upset, because, you know, he can be so crazy. Well, after he straightened the person out, he flew out of the party in an outrage. Now, see, some people will tell you, I don't care what you call me, just spell my name right. But apparently, my aunt wants you to spell and say his name right.
Well, all the Park Avenue swells are jockeying for position on where they're going to send their kids to summer camp. But let me tell you, inner city kids are not going to get a bum rap thanks to Grammy Award winner LL Cool J. He sponsors Camp Cool J, located in New Jersey on 500 to 600 acres, and every summer they take 500 inner city kids out of the city so they can enjoy the bucolic outdoors. So at least for those lucky kids, it's going to be a cool summer, courtesy of LL.
A lot of sadness on the cancellation, temporary or permanent, on Bruce Willis's picture, Broadway Brawler, shooting in Wilmington, Delaware. Among principals, Maura Tierney, who is Bruce Willis's co-star in the picture, she told me she was disappointed, first of all, because it's such a good role and she was having a good time with Bruce. She was absolutely shocked the picture was canceled, and she only has a certain amount of time left before she's supposed to start Primary Colors with John Travolta. She is worried that she won't be able to get over to see it, and she has to do that picture with John Travolta, she said. Meanwhile, we can see her in Liar, Liar, which is opening next week, and in which she is just wonderful. Also disappointed in the shutdown of Broadway Brawler is Daniel Baldwin. He told me I was supposed to have 2 great scenes with Bruce, and you know, an actor loves a great scene with Bruce Willis.
Coming up, I'll tell you which of Jenny McCarthy's latest projects has gone right down the toilet.
Home Alone, he became a household name.
I've never seen anybody have success this quickly as this child.
But the millions Macaulay Culkin made came at the price of his childhood.
Success in Hollywood is much overrated.
And a movie career that had once supported a family now tore it apart.
Nothing like that should happen to a family.
Macaulay Culkin, a child's rise, a family's fall. The E! True Hollywood Story. This Sunday at 8 Eastern, only on E!
If you ever end up in some Ben-Hur movie, in your new 97 Pontiac Sunfire GT, with its powerful twin-cam engine, well, you'll be glad you have a quick-handling sport suspension. And, of course, 150 horses. The new 1997 Pontiac Sunfire GT. Finally, a real set of wheels you can really afford.
Mom says it's important to eat healthy, so we're eating more salad. Lots of it when it's got the dressing we all like.
Hidden Valley, just bursting with the garden fresh taste of herbs and spices. Hidden Valley Ranch, good things grow in Hidden Valley.
What shape is your toothbrush in? Aquafresh Flex has a flexible neck to absorb pressure and help protect gums. Its pivoting head helps clean hard-to-reach plaque. No brush cleans better. Aquafresh Flex. It's hard on plaque, soft on gums.
Howdy, folks. We're looking for,
Route 9!
Route 9! That goes through Twitter, where everything fruity gets twisted.
New Starburst, fruit twist, cherry, lemon.
I'm really twisted and I like it.
Ooh! Come on, bite this! New Starburst fruit twist, made with real fruit juice. 4 twisted flavors in every pan. Twist up the juice!
Like, I'm in a bikini.
and he says I'm not fully clothed, or my T-shirt's too see-through. And I say, look, when I met you, I had a skirt on up to here. And he said, but that was okay, because I didn't know.
Be body, be soul, just be.
CKB, the fragrance for people, Calvin Klein.
The CKB gift set, now yours for a suggested retail price of $45.
Coming Attractions is coming your way with the best part of the movies, the trailers. Get the latest lowdown on the newest films. Coming Attractions, coming up next, only on E!
You may have heard some buzz about Jenny McCarthy's toilet troubles. Jenny starred in some advertisement for Candy's shoes that were all set to roll in the April issues of certain fashion magazines. Anyway, the ads, which in some instances featured Jenny sitting on the toilet with her panties around her ankles, were considered so distasteful and controversial that several magazines banned them, including Vogue and Cosmopolitan. Well, in the interest of full disclosure, because a lot of people didn't get to see these ads, we've brought them here for you. So check out this. This is Jenna McCarthy's crowning moment on the throne. And check out what she singled out to read. It's the business section. How appropriate.
Former Emmy Award-winning Chicago Hope veteran Mandy Patinkin gets the Good Guy of the Month award for March. He's doing a benefit concert series all month on Broadway, singing pennies from heaven and bringing some pennies from heaven to 5 pet charities. He says with all of his success, this is a dream come true, and he and his wife feel so strongly about giving something back, they even make their kids give part of their allowance each week to charity. No showbiz brats in that family.
Well, guys, as they say in Hollywood, it's a wrap, which means we're out of here. But check in with us again tomorrow. Same time, same channel. Until then, it's peace, love, and gossip.